Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alternative Jargon, episode number 43. If you have not seen the little comedy sketch that I put out this past Saturday, please go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it. It did do decently well by my standards, and thank you to everybody who went out and watched that. I do have more plans to do stuff like that in the future. Part of one of the fun things, the reason why I do this hobby, this show, whatever, it's fun to do the show, but also deep down, I love to do a little bit more of more calculated type of content stuff. Obviously, this show is the exact opposite of calculated. I just sit down in front of a tripod and talk to myself for about a half hour every week, and it's very spontaneous. But doing videos like that is a lot of fun for me. It takes me back to college, where you actually have a goal set out in mind when you press the record button instead of just spewing nonsense into your voice memos app. So it's fun to set up the shots, fun to write up a little script, and do something that's actually semi-decent, which is not what this is. But yeah, definitely going to try to churn out some more little stuff like that. It's really fun, and it's fun to do that stuff. So Donald Trump was almost assassinated. Before we get into that, though, it's been a little bit since we've had a little bit of ASMR on the show. So let's just go ahead and do that quick. You're welcome. We're rocking with the Waterloo Black Cherry today. Got to keep hydrated. It's 98 degrees outside, and I'm very tired of it. Donald Trump was almost assassinated on Saturday evening in Butler, Pennsylvania. Now, I had to look up where Butler was. I had no idea. I am from Central PA. Butler, PA is a little bit north of Pittsburgh, apparently population like 13,000. And I've got to say, thank God that Trump wasn't killed there, because that would have been such a lame place to have to like take a field trip to someday as a kid. At least if you're going to go see where JFK got shot, it's in the heart of one of the biggest cities in the country. At least if you go to see where Abe Lincoln got shot, you get to go look at a cool 19th century theater. But it would not have been fun to have to go to Butler, PA on your, AP US history sophomore year of high school trip to see that. All jokes aside, yes, it was an assassination attempt, and it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy, and this proves that our country really is back. I talked about this a few weeks ago. I think it was number 41, called The End of the Empire, how things are feeling a little bit dire in this country right now, and that is certainly a sign that the United States of America is doing well. It's still kicking. If things don't feel dire, if things don't feel a little bit deadly at all times, then this is not the country we live in. But no, we do live in a very safe country for the most part. When you look at the rest of the world, it's not that bad. But you know what I mean? As an American, you've got to have a little bit of tension, because this is the free world. If we can't uphold it here, there's nowhere to go. Nowhere exactly like us, I mean. Yeah, since I've been alive, there has not really been an assassination attempt this high profile that I can think of. It doesn't get any more high profile than the President of the United States, the former, the current, or the future. It doesn't matter. That is as big as it gets. Probably the most protected guy in the world. And I've seen a lot of people talking about, how was this guy even able to get those shots off? Things like that, how Trump turned his head at the very last second to narrowly escape death. But yeah, they almost took out the main character of planet Earth. Whether you like the guy or not, I think you can admit that Donald Trump is he's the guy. If he disappeared tomorrow or today or yesterday, that would be a huge, huge thing. He has been the center of our politics, our pop culture, for about the last 9 years. And before that, obviously, TV star, big name. But ever since he rode that escalator down in June of 2015 in Trump Tower to announce his run as president of the United States, he has been the center of attention. He took that escalator ride, and everyone laughed at him. And I think most of you were among those. If you say that you were on board with Trump the very second he ran, you're either lying or you are not lying. But I find that hard to believe because everyone was laughing at him back then. But almost everything Donald Trump does feels surreal. Running for president with his resume was crazy. Winning in 2016 was bonkers. And then you have losing and claiming election interference in 2020, January 6th, whether you are for or against that, the funniest day in history. And now he's getting shot. He is a guy that everywhere he goes there's something going on with him. And it's been a long time since we've had someone like that in our government, I think. I think that most of the presidents in our history, well, basically all of them, are already from the system. They're all different in a way, but they're all of the same ilk in that they have the politician's face and mannerisms, and they follow the code. And I think Trump is the first one in a long time that just doesn't follow that code. Maybe the first one to stray the most from that code that we've ever had and maybe ever will have again. If they're shooting at you, you're not following somebody's code. And I am not going to sit here and say that, this 20-year-old kid was, a pawn for the deep state. I don't know that. But either way, if you're getting shot at, you're doing something a little bit different. They shot JFK because he wanted to end wars and, take down the CIA. They shot Lincoln. So, whether you love Trump or you hate Trump, you can't look away from him. And he's the greatest entertainer alive. Personally, I wish he would drop out of politics and become a stand-up comedian. He would be so much more loved if he did that. You can argue that would be more important for our country than a president. When is Matt Rife going to announce his run? It's got to happen soon. He's not 35 yet. He's getting up there. But certainly, crowd work is probably more important than the State of the Union at this point, fiscally speaking. But yeah, Trump has the most fascinating story of any human being alive right now, I think. I'm not sure who could top that. If you ask me, I think the failed assassination, barring that nothing like this happens again until January of 2025, I think that just confirmed Trump as the 47th president of the United States of America. I have not seen this amount of unapologetic MAGA stuff online since the months leading up to the 2020 election, when it seemed like Trump was full steam ahead to win that year. And Biden is probably the worst candidate ever put forth in an election, and they just tried to shoot Trump. I think he's our next president, and I don't think there's anything that could stop that. So love it or hate it, that's my call. You heard it here first. Usually people do come to me for these types of things, high political predictions, things like that. Heard it here first. I mentioned a while ago, this was more than a while ago, but I have this phrase that everyone is a conspiracy theorist today on both sides of the political aisle. And I think that this is another situation where that glaring fact really seeps through the cracks and exposes itself to the public. You go to the grocery store and you either buy red or green grapes, as someone who's politically active today, but everyone is buying grapes. It doesn't matter what side you're on, you're getting the grapes. It's fun to watch people subscribe to one theory and not the other. And, I'm guilty of this. Some things you believe, some things you don't. Maybe they contradict, but it's hard to live life without contradiction, right? The people who thought that there was no way that COVID came from a lab now believe that Trump faked an assassination using fake blood pills from Spirit Halloween. Isn't it fun to watch stuff like that develop? Now, somebody else did die at the rally from a stray bullet, so that point was overlooked. But I did see people posting, you can buy fake blood caplets on Amazon for just $6.99, and their Prime gives you free shipping. I don't think that that's what happened. I don't think that's what happened. If Trump was going to fake the assassination, he would at least get the good blood caplets, not the $6.99 ones. I think that he can afford those, and I'm sure he has a Prime membership. You could probably DoorDash those now too. You could probably DoorDash the fake blood caplets. But yeah, and let's just swing it back the other way because this is a bipartisan show. The people who believe JFK Jr. is going to come back from the dead to run the world in tandem with Trump don't think that there's any chance that maybe our climate's getting a little hotter. So I don't have a side here. I just love to play devil's advocate. I truly don't care about any of this. All I want is for inflation to maybe go down. If the polar ice caps are melting and I have a few extra dollars in my pocket to, buy another beer at the bar, so be it. And if the leader of the free world bought Spirit Halloween blood caplets to win the election and I have a few more dollars in my pocket, then so be it. I'm just kidding, of course. I'm kidding. But people watching in this country is second to none. It is really fun to watch stuff like this go down. And the best place to see it is on Twitter. Twitter has long been the fastest, most fun, most interactive way to get news about something when something big like this happens. I was sitting on my couch, I think on my second or third beer of the Saturday evening, whenever the news came to me that Trump was shot. And I think I was glued to my phone screen with Wi-Fi on, plugged into the charger for the next 2 or 3 hours just on Twitter, because every time you refresh, there's a new banger. Every time you refresh, there's a new detail. And Twitter has had its ups and downs. But this event just showed that it is still the king of news. And thank God for Twitter. Imagine having to sit there on the Apple News app and refresh and watch CNN try to tell you that somebody blew a gasket and Trump used a fake blood caplet, and Fox News tells you that JFK Jr. was spotted outside the rally in a Hummer. Whatever they want to tell you, that would be awful. Thank God that we have some type of transparent news source. Back when we had 3 TV channels, I can't imagine trying to keep up with the JFK assassination. Good Lord. You'd have to listen to some TV anchor who goes home and beats his wife in a drunken rage every night, tell you about how some dude's head is rolling down a street in Dallas, Texas. It would have been awful to keep up with things back then. It would have been awful. So thank God for the internet. If nothing else about the internet is good, at least we have live up-to-the-minute news from people that maybe are not complete psychopaths on network TV. So that's good. There's a lot of things on Twitter that are great. Some of the best days on Twitter when obviously big things happen, a celebrity dies, an election happens, a president gets shot, or someone poops their pants on a flight and diarrhea is now surging down the entire aisle as people panic and try their best to evacuate and now won't make it to Barcelona on time, and a whole plane must have its carpets completely ripped out and overhauled. A lot of great things happen on Twitter. A lot of crazy things happen in the world, and there's no place to see it better than on there. Yeah. The shooter has been identified as some 20-year-old dude named Thomas Matthew Crooks. I mean full offense when I say this guy looks like a loser. This will probably get me a strike on my channel. You're not allowed to bully anybody anymore. You're not allowed to make fun. I couldn't make a joke about Stephen Hawking going to Pedophile Island earlier this year without getting the episode taken down. But I do mean full offense. This guy looks like an inbred loser. Hopefully you're allowed to make fun of the guy that shot a presidential candidate, but I don't know. I doubt it. Probably going to get a harassment claim on this one. That's just how stuff works. But this guy apparently graduated from high school in 2022, just a couple years ago. And I gotta say, one of the things that no one's talking about with this shooter is his ability to seek employment after all this blows over. I know Indeed really, really, really does do their best to get you those jobs, to find those keywords, to find that salary range, and to get you back on course. But I don't know if Indeed is going to be able to do it for this guy. I definitely cannot see him being a personality hire. He looks like he probably spends way too much time on Reddit and not the side of Reddit that you want to be on. He looks like he doesn't get a lot of sunlight. And I'm not going to act like I do either when it's 98 degrees out, but not a personality hire, this guy. And shooting at a president is just not going to be great on his record. It's not going to be great on his resume, especially the fact that he missed. He doesn't even have a future as a hitman. He doesn't even have that under his belt. So I cannot believe this is being overlooked by the rest of the lamestream media. Is where does he go from here? He's an American too. And every American deserves a redemption arc. Isn't that right? Everyone gets a second chance. I am, of course, neglecting to tell you the fact that the guy's dead. He was shot in the freaking face. He's dead. He's no longer with us. The Secret Service took him out after he missed his shots. I will say, dude, if you're gonna try to kill the president, yeah, he's dead. He was shot. He's not on Indeed anymore. I did not look him up on LinkedIn, but something tells me he probably doesn't have that many connections. But nonetheless, he is dead. There's no second chance for him. I'm waiting to see, those memes when someone dies and then it's a meme and, somebody else is born or something happens and it says, "Welcome back, so-and-so." I haven't seen the Thomas Matthew Crooks version yet. So I guess he has not been reincarnated as of yet. Might be a few days before that happens. But yeah, he is dead and he's not coming back. So no redemption arc for him. Not for him. College football 25 is out. I'm going to pivot here. I'm tired of this whole, it was fun the first day. But I've had a few days off work. I have had too much time on my phone, and the whole assassination thing is in the past now. And I kind of just can't wait till this election is over, because at this point there's nothing fun about it. We know who's going to win. It's clear, it's obvious, but we're going to burn a few more $1 million on smear ads and stuff like that for the next 4 months until the election. Because why not? College Football 25 is out. I'm not a PS5 owner, so I do not have access to this game. I'm officially on last gen again, and it feels crazy because the PS4 still feels new to me. I guess I just got to get with the times. It takes my thing like 5 minutes to open YouTube now, so I should take that as a hint that this isn't the new one anymore. But nonetheless, it is quite disappointing. I was looking forward to this game, and then just a few weeks ago, I looked it up and found out it's just for the PS5 and the Xbox Series FSX Series, whatever the heck the Xbox is called, because they just can't name anything normally. I haven't bought Madden in years. Madden is just kind of a crappy game. It's the same thing every year. The least they could do is bring back like Chris Collinsworth and Gus Johnson as the commentators. I don't want to sit there and listen to Brandon Gaudin or whatever the heck, isn't it? Like, no thanks. I don't know what the deal is with sports games and getting rid of the really good commentators, because we had Matt Vasgersian on MLB The Show. Now it's, I'm John Giambi. Just not my favorites. Nothing against those guys, but you have some iconic voices out there, some really great, iconic play-by-play and color guys, and they just aren't in the games anymore. Luckily, College Football 25 does have Chris Fowler, and I think Herb Street. That should be a good tandem. But, speaking of college football, I'm sort of intrigued to watch college football this season. And the reason why is because I'm wondering if it's going to be depressing to watch college football this year. Now that I'm graduated from college and everyone on that field is younger than me, everyone in the stands is younger than me. It's a Saturday night and I have just cracked my 5th beer, and I'm already getting tired at like 8 p.m. because I dilly-dallied today. I didn't go to a party. I didn't make a Borg and, go put my life in danger or anything fun. Now I had a Saturday. I had a post-grad Saturday. Maybe I went to the bookstore and, smelled some old parchment. Maybe I looked out the window at the breeze flowing through the leaves and reminisced on days of old. Whatever you do on a Saturday post-grad, I'm still trying to figure that out. It might be a little depressing to sit there and watch college football and go, yeah, everyone on that field has like an NIL deal worth $5 million, and here I am on a Saturday trying to decide if I should get Corona Premier or Busch Light. Because one is like $5 more. We'll see how it feels. I'm not sure. But, I did not go to a football school. My college, their football stadium is smaller than my high school stadium. Definitely not a football school. The good news is, to reassure myself, is that I think that if I was going to have the FOMO from missing out on college football, I would have had it the past 4 years going to that school. It's fun to sit there and watch college football, but I don't think it would have been that fun to go to a football school, honestly. I kind of like attending my little D2 state school where you go and no one there is really that special, and no one there thinks they're that special. And everyone knows that they're not special. The one dorm on campus where they put the honors college kids has black mold growing in it. And if you eat the dining hall food, you'll experience something. I hate that, actually. I take that back. The dining hall food is not that bad. Everyone loves to harp on the dining hall food. It's dining hall food. You swipe in, you get to eat as much as you want. I'm not going to talk trash on the dining hall food. But no, I think it would be kind of toxic to go to a D1 huge school where, you look at an SEC school and the frats and sororities, they're like, my dad's dad was in this frat too. and I'm a seventh generation Lambda Chi, and it's like, oh, it's a little toxic. It just feels not good. I don't know. I'm kind of glad I didn't go to a place like that, because I don't want to. I like to go to a place where everyone sort of knows they're a waste of life. That comforts me. Go to a place where you can disappear for 4 years, make new friends, and come out with multiple new addictions. That to me is more comforting than a place where your sorority sister, her father has had people killed overseas, and her mother's a stay-at-home mom because the dad makes like $30 million a year through corporate espionage or something. Maybe that's more of an Ivy League thing. In the SEC, it's probably just, your dad has some money left over from the Klan back in the 20s or something. The Ivy Leagues, you go to MIT, the guy sitting next to you in your computer science class, his dad is partly responsible for the Gaza Strip war. Every time there's a bombing, his son gets a notification on his phone. And he goes, "Dad, right now I have an exam in 20 minutes. Did you have to do it now?" Yeah, I liked going to my little school. I'm going to miss it. I already do miss it. It was a great 4 years. And it was good. Don't think I graduated with any war criminals, but only time will tell. So thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm going to have a little more comedy sketches on the way. I'm not going to set any type of timetable for those, because as soon as that happens, nothing ever happens. So no timetable on those. But yeah, thank you for checking it out if you did. If not, go check it out. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.